Hi, I'm Dean Rod Vera. In this video, I'll give you tips how to make case digests for law school. Stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, click like and subscribe and the notification bell so you'll know when I post new videos. Here I post videos on legal commentaries and law school advice. Welcome back. So, you're a law student and you've been tasked or assigned cases to read for class. Of course, if you don't make digests, you have to read the original. Digests are there for you to help you review and remember come recitation and exams in law school. I'll give you some tips how to make them. First, there's no way around this. You have to read the case in the original form or in its entirety. You can't summarize anything without reading the case in whole. It'll be useless. You're in law school. You have no choice. You have to study. Another thing you should avoid when making digests, especially with computers and word processing, is the copy and paste. Don't do that. Copy and paste will not make you remember what you wrote in the digests because you just remember what your mouse did. Tip number 1. Know where the case is assigned. Know the subject and the topic in the syllabus. For example, in criminal law, is the case assigned under the justifying circumstances? Is it assigned under exempting circumstances? Is it assigned under criminal liability? Or is it assigned for the crime itself, whether the elements are present or whether the person is guilty or not? You should know where to assign because the professor will test you on how you read the case compared to the assignment or the topic it's assigned to. There are 3 things you have to remember in the case digests: the facts, the issue, and the ruling. When you know these 3 things, you'll be able to understand the case thoroughly and in preparation for your recitation or exams. With the facts, know the operative facts. These are the facts which control the flow of the case, and they are points of information relevant to the issue of the case. A decision in the case, or decision by the court, is really how the law is applied to the facts. The facts of the case are usually, or most often than not, undisputed or admitted by both parties. As I said, the operative facts are the reasons behind the decision. For example, in criminal cases, the fact of mistaken identity will lead to the dismissal of the case. In commercial law, for example, in negotiable instruments, the fact of non-delivery makes the instrument non-negotiable. And in obligation contracts, the fact of delay may be the cause or the reason for damages. The operative facts are those points of information where the professor will grill you on. They will test you on whether you read the case or not and how the law is applied to those particular facts. Next, identify the issue. An issue is not whether the case is won or not. For example, in criminal cases, the issue is never about whether the person is guilty or not. As you read the case, always dig deep. Read between the lines. Remember, in crim cases, an accused will always put up a defense. So, in crim cases, the issue is whether the defense of the accused is viable or not whether he did it. To know the issue, ask yourself, why is this a Supreme Court case? Why did it reach so far up the hierarchy of courts? For example, how does an unlawful detainer, a simple case of eviction based on a non-payment of rent, go all the way up to the Supreme Court? When you find out how, that will be the issue. Next, know the ruling of the case. This is a decision of the court on whether the issue is answered or not. When reading the case and knowing the outcome, always look for the smoking gun. There will always be a point in the case where a particular fact will make the case turn left, turn right, make a 360. There will always be a point in the case wherein that certain fact that made the smoking gun and the law is applied to it will be the outcome or the basis of that decision. Your professor will want to know what led the court to decide that way. Think about it like Waze or Google Maps. You already know where you want to go, but you still ask Waze or Google Maps to tell you how to get there. The fastest way, ways to avoid tolls, ways to beat traffic, but nevertheless, you'll end up in the same destination. That's where the professor will test you, how you got there. Most cases have just 2 outcomes. For criminal cases, it's guilty or not guilty. For commercial cases, it's whether it's liable or not. And for special cases, whether the petition is granted or not. Your case digest is the ways in reviewing for the cases. Treatment of digests. Some professors will ask you to compile all the cases or these digests and submit it at the end of semester, or maybe at a certain period. When you do those cases, you have to be really good in your writing. because the professor will test you on your thinking and analytical skills. Learning law is about critical thinking. Your professor will want to know how you came up with that outcome. If the digests are meant for review, write them in a style wherein you will remember how you wrote them and when you wrote them. Write them in a manner wherein you will have the best memory recall. Another way how digests are treated is digest pools. I did that when I was in law school, and it's quite helpful. Some subjects require 50, 25, 30 cases a day, and digest pools are meant to ease the studying time. But remember, digest pools, you are at the mercy of the person who wrote the digests. He may have a different style how he wrote it. Maybe he went against the rules that I just made. In digest pools, never forget first to read the case in its entirety. As I said, digest pools are meant only for review or training or reading tools, not necessarily the main source of your information or main source of your lesson. Law school is tough. Every lawyer out there went through the same thing you were going through. Your professors had it worse. They had to read the case from books, had to actually type those digests in typewriters. Take advantage of the tools available to you. You have advanced search features, you have your mouse to read and highlight, and if you use your tablet or your computer, you'll have digests stored in digital form. You don't have to bring papers to school. Your bags will be less heavy. Last tip, when you make the digests, don't throw them away. Compile them. Sort them out by subject, by year, by judge if you want to, so that when it comes down to midterms and finals, you can review those cases quickly. And when you get to the senior year, your cases will be tripled, even quadrupled. So having digests will help you prepare for your senior year in the review classes. This video is short, but that's what digest is supposed to be, short and sweet. But remember, and I'll say it again and again and again, read the case in its entirety first before making the digests. Good luck in your law school career. I wish you the best, and I hope to see you in court. Goodbye.